Hey everyone, back again with another What Sold video. Today I will be going over March sales. I use Poshmark and eBay, and with that, we will jump right on in. So this first sale I have for March was on March 5th. It's a Sonoma women's linen blend button-up blouse. The reason why I got this one was because that we were kind of going into spring, and so I thought linen can do good during the summer. And sure enough, I think we're not quite at the summer, but it sold pretty quickly, less than a month. Um, and it was not for a lot of money, but I did get this one at the bins. So most of my profits I was able to keep because it's very light. So it's not like I had to pay a whole lot in cost of goods. So it sold on March 5th for $14.86. My order earnings was $11.21. My cost of goods, I rounded up to $1. I'm sure it was cheaper than that because it was very light. If you're not familiar with the bins charges by weight. And so if it's a lighter piece, then you pay less. And so, yeah, my cost of goods, I rounded up to $1. And so my net profit was $10.21. So a little lower of a profit that I'm working for, but for a bins haul, I will take it, and for less than 30 days, I think that was pretty good flip, quick flip. This one is a new with tags Juicy Couture Girls Youth bikini. Um, I only had the top. I don't remember if I looked very hard for the bottom, but this was a very disappointing sale. This was probably like 2 years ago, maybe something like that. And I thought Juicy Couture was trending because of like the whole Y2K um, style. I didn't realize, one, that it was a girl's, so that decreases the value, and two, I didn't have the bikini bottom. So this sat and sat and sat and sat. So I'm just glad to have gotten rid of this, and then hopefully someone can use this. So this one sold on March 6th for $2.98. I was willing to take anything. My order earnings was $1.95. And since it was such a long time ago, this was before I tracked how much I was paying for each item. So I just estimated it to be $3. So my net loss was $1.05. So definitely wouldn't recommend this. I don't even know what I would in this brand. I know some things can do well, but so far I have not done well with Juicy Couture. Okay, this one is an H&M slacks. This one sold on March 12th for $14. My order earnings was $10.33. And this one I actually had bought for myself a while ago, and I just didn't use it very much, so I decided to sell it. So I maybe used it a couple of times, and so I had my cost of goods as nothing. So my net profit was $10.33. I think it was pretty good because I probably paid similar amount for them, and I'm just glad to get it to someone that can use it again. I don't know that I'd pick it up necessarily if I saw it at a thrift store, but I'm happy to get rid of my clothes. This one was kind of an interesting, kind of disappointing sale. So this one is Jules. It's a bee design Molly rain boot. I thought they were pretty cool. My mom actually picked this up when we went thrifting when her and my dad visited. And I think it was a really good pickup. I did notice that there were a lot of bee designs in this brand, rain boots, that sold of it a lot. There were a lot, especially in this size. I looked it up, and there were only just a couple available. So the sell-through was really high. So I thought I would be able to get more money, but I got it $35. So this sold on March 15th, which was less than a month, I believe. So March 15th for $35. My order earnings was $28. My cost of goods was $14. I got it at a regular Goodwill. And so my net profit was $14. So not a terrible profit, but I expected more out of this one, but that's okay. If you watched my other What Sold video, I actually got the hunter boots the same day as this one, and I think it might have been from the same person donating it. And the hunter boots did way better than this one, which I was kind of surprised about. I probably could have waited and maybe got a little more money, but this was the second offer I think I got on these boots, and so I just decided to accept it, and I'm okay with it. I just kind of expected more. Okay, this one is some Spenco slippers. They looked nearly brand new. I think I had this in a haul video, probably around November time or something. So this one, my friend actually came with me to the thrift store when she visited. See, they're looking pretty brand new here. You can see looks like almost nowhere. And so she actually found that she is not a thrifter at all. She just came because she knows I like to thrift. And the day that I was going, it was like back to school sale. Everything was 50% off or something. So I personally would not necessarily have picked this up if I was on my own, but she was very excited about it, and they looked really good. And these are kind of like orthotic slippers, so sometimes orthotic shoes and slippers can do pretty good. I know I've sold some other ones for quite a bit, but this one, it sat for a while, so November, December, January, February, March, so about 4 months or so. So it kind of sat a while, and it's didn't sell for a whole lot, but she was excited that they sold. So this one sold on March 17th, so nearly exactly 4 months, for $15.50. Order earnings was $11.28. I paid $6 with the 50% off at the Goodwill, so my net profit was $5.28. So not necessarily something I would buy, but I'm glad that she could see the fruits of her labor. This one was not a very good buy or sale. This one probably I got around the same time frame as that Juicy Couture bikini. I was trying to research and I thought Tommy Bahama certain things could do good in it. This one I think was just a cheap long sleeve, and so that's why I decided to get it, because I didn't have to put too much money into it, but also it did not sell very well. So I think I got an offer on this one, which I accepted, and so just to get it moving, I probably would have accepted anything. But it sold on March 19th for $9.91. My order earnings was $7.28. Because this was such a long time ago, just like the Juicy Couture one, I just estimated this as $3. So my net profit was $4.28. So not something I would recommend. This one was actually a dress that was mine, and I just didn't. I used it a couple times and I didn't really like it, and so I just listed it. And this one, it sold on March 19th for $7. My order earnings was $4.05, and that was my net profit because I did buy it for myself. So just like I think it was my January video, just list stuff that you don't want anymore and it can sell. This is actually my husband's tie. It was nearly brand new. Um, but it was just very thick for him, so that's why he really didn't use it. I think maybe he used it once in the whole time. And so I listed it, and so this one sold on March 21st for $10. Order earnings was $7.05, and that is what the net profit was, because it was his. I know some ties can do good. I have no idea which ones. This was my husband's one and we wanted to sell it, so I just listed it. I'm not sure. I have no clue about these, but I was glad that it did sell, and for $10, I thought that was pretty good. Okay, this one is a Brixton long sleeve. This one was part of the bag of clothes that my friend gave me. So I did give her a percentage of the profit from these. And I think I mentioned it in almost every What Sold video, probably since she's given it to me, because I think there's been something that sold every month from her. package, but this one was one of the bit more, it was one of the higher sales of the items she gave me. So this is a Brixton. It was sold on March 21st for $22. Order earnings was $17.60. I gave her 40% at $7.04, and so my net profit was $10.56. I don't know a whole lot about this brand. I think it can retail quite a bit. I'm not sure that I would pick it up at a thrift. I would have to research it really, just because I'm not sure. This is a Talbot's Plus woman's Ponte Pintuck straight leg pants. This one sold on March 24th for $25. Order earnings was $17.73. Cost of goods was $4, and net profit was $15.73. I believe I got this on Whatnot. I'm pretty sure I got this on Whatnot. It was either Whatnot or the bins, but I don't think it was that heavy that it would have costed me $4, but maybe it did. I'm not sure. But either way, Whatnot, I've been trying to source a little bit from there. I think I got maybe like a haul from like 2 or 3 different people. But anyway, I will link it down in my description. If you guys wanted to use the link, you guys can get a range of credit, and it will also give me some credit if you guys use my link. It can be a good place to source. I've seen other people do that. I've sold a couple things from sourcing on Whatnot. And so, but yes, I think I mentioned in my other video that just be careful because it's easy to get carried away and not really understand what you're doing on Whatnot. But in any case, so Whatnot or the bins, I'm not entirely sure. But yes, pretty good profit. I'm pretty impressed with it. I think some brands, especially like Talbot's, can do really good in like plus sizes. I think some of the smaller sizes don't necessarily do as well. So I was pretty happy with this sale. This one is a Charming Charlie short sleeve blouse, very sheer, very lightweight, very kind of cheapy looking. I think I actually bought this. I don't remember where I bought this from, but I did buy it because I wanted to try it on. I don't know if it was a yard sale or a thrift store. I'm not entirely sure. But in any case, I didn't really like it. I think I wore it once. And then, yeah, I think I decided that I would just list it. And this obviously sat for a long time. I'm not sure if I relisted it, but definitely at least since August. And not for a lot. So $5.83 is what it sold for on March 24th. Order earnings was $4.07. And that is what I considered my net profit because I did buy it for myself. And I don't even remember how much I paid. It wasn't a lot. Would not recommend. This is a Speedo woman's one piece. This one I actually got in Hawaii at the Goodwill. I think I mentioned that in my other videos as well. This one was new with tags, but it was also part of I think it was sitting for a while, so the tag, I think the color of the tag was on sale this week, so I actually ended up getting this for $2. I mainly got it because it was new with tags. I have never bought Speedo before, but I also believe that one pieces do better than two pieces in swimsuits generally, at least for right now. General statement, I think it depends on brand and all that. But this one, I think actually sold pretty quickly, definitely less than 90 days. But I would say probably more like 30 to 60. So this one sold for $22. My order earnings was $17.60. My cost of goods was $2, and so my net profit was $15.60. So I think pretty good. And I believe I got a 5-star on this one as well. So I don't know a whole lot about this, but it retailed for 50. But I'm happy with the sale, so don't know a whole lot about one pieces. I bought a couple other one pieces during the same time that I bought this one, and I don't think they sold yet, so we'll see. This is a Quince linen midi dress. This one I thought I mean, it sold really for quite a bit, 50 or I think it was an offer for $43.25. So quite a bit. Quince can do really good. maybe it doesn't sell for as much as retail, but I think it sells pretty quickly generally. So this one took just over 2 months to sell, and I think it's because I listed it in winter, and then now we're going into spring, and then like I mentioned on the first Sonoma listing, linen's gonna start being more popular here as the weather gets warmer. But this one actually got returned for fit. And so I actually ended up relisting it. I want to say even maybe like last week. And I added a clause in the description saying like, please see measurements before purchasing because it might be a little snug, or just to make sure that they're looking at the measurements for fit. And it sold in I think less than a week, and so you'll see that in my April what sold video. I'm going to count this in my profit for now because it just got returned to me this month. And but yeah, it sold again really quickly once I relisted it, and we're now closer into spring, and so that makes sense. And so this is a quince linen dress sold on March 25th for $43.25. My order earnings was $34.55. My cost of goods was $13. I got this at the thrift store in Hawaii, same place that I got the Speedo. This one was not on sale, but I still took a chance on it. And there was even a flaw. The button was a little bit, I think it looked like it was altered or broke. You can see that there's two different buttons here. But anyway, so I did notate that in the pictures you can see. And so yes, cost of goods $13 from the Goodwill in Hawaii, and net profit was $21.55. So very happy with this at first. A little bummed that it got returned, but it did again sell really quickly in a bundle in April. So I will show you guys that then. This one is not something at all I would recommend. I was just, this was early in my thrifting career. I bought it, so this has got to be probably a couple years old. I don't even remember how much I paid for it. I know it was new with tags and it was on sale. So I don't think I paid a whole lot, but I was trying to dabble in the vintage area of things and I did not do a good job. So I didn't even know how to price it. I priced it very high to begin with, and then I ended up dropping it and dropping it and dropping it. And finally, this sold on March 25th for $12. My order earnings was $9.05. And I just guessed that my cost of goods was $5, so I had a net profit of $4.05. Nothing really to note there. These were kind of interesting. I got these at a Goodwill around I'm not sure actually when exactly. I guess it looks like I listed it on February 19th, so just over a month that they sold. Um, Dansko's, I've had the clogs. They're like staple clogs before, and they did not sell very well. But I have seen other people sell like unique Dansko's like these, um, much better than their regular clogs. And I think it's just because maybe it's oversaturated and maybe I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I tried to sell those and they sat for a while and they didn't sell for a lot. But these, because they were not the typical clogs, I wanted to give it a try. They actually had a brown pair at the thrift store, but because I wasn't confident, I only tried this one because it was in a little better shape. My husband actually polished it a little bit for me. And yeah, it sold just over a month and for pretty decent money. I'm pretty happy with this one actually. So this one sold on March 26th for $59.38. My order earnings was $48.25. My cost of goods was $11, and so my net profit was $37.25. So definitely one of the better sales for me for the month. So if you see Dansko's that aren't clogs, then they might be worth looking up because yeah, these did pretty well. This one is a Urban Outfitters bikini top. Would not recommend this, just like the Juicy Couture one. I bought this a long time ago. It was on sale. It was maybe like $1 or two. I don't even remember. I didn't even know it was a bikini. I kind of think I thought it was maybe like a sports bra. So I didn't even look for the bottoms. And that was before I knew having the bottoms increases the value quite a bit. And so this one sold on March 26th for $5.44. Order earnings was $3.61. I'm saying my cost of goods was $3, and so my net profit was 61 cents. This is the Charlie Holiday. I think is sold at Urban Outfitters. That's why I put that in there. I thought it would do better. It did not, and sat for, I would say, a couple years. I'm not entirely sure. But yes, don't recommend at least the one piece. I'm not sure if you had both, if it would do better. Oh yeah, July. Oh no, I must have relisted it because I think it was even older than this. Okay. This one is Levi's 94 baggy seamed women's jeans, medium wash. This was also part of the bag that my friend gave me to resell. Baggy jeans are pretty in. I have noticed that they are not as quick moving as I thought they would be, but they are still selling quicker than, say, skinny jeans. This one in particular sold, I think, I think probably I listed it around November or December, so maybe a little bit over that 90-day mark. But anyway, they sold for $20. Order earnings, they sold for $20 on March 26th. And order earnings was $16. My cost of goods is what I gave her, $6.40. So my net profit was $9.60. So yeah, just I think with jeans, it really just depends on what's trending in style. And then based off of that, if depending on what brands you have, can increase the value or not. But I think style really matters because you can have really expensive brand of jeans, and they just won't do good because they're not in style. This is a Brooks Brothers dress. I got this one in Hawaii as well at a different Goodwill. Um, I didn't do much research before I purchased it. I probably wouldn't purchase it again. This Brooks Brothers red fleece, I researched it after, and I think it's more of like a teen type of like line that they made for like the younger population. And I think it was probably a few years ago that they did it. And so I didn't know that at the time when I was deciding whether to buy or not. I know Brooks Brothers sells for a lot anyway, and only certain things of theirs do good. But anyway, I bought this, yes, in Hawaii, and it sold on March 27th for $17. Order earnings was $14. Cost of goods was $13, so my profit was $1. I'm not sure if I could have got more for this or not, but I just wanted to make sure they didn't sit forever. And so, yeah, they sold, looks like within 2 months. So not terrible, but yes, I think I paid one too much for it. And yeah, I think it's just, yeah, I wouldn't do it again. These did surprisingly well. I am not sure why, but I'm really glad for it. So these are Keen Casey slides, sold March 27th for $50.88. Order earnings was $43.71. My cost of goods was $11, and my net profit was $32.71. So I think these were part of the shoes that my parents went with me to the thrift store when they visited, and I think maybe one of them found it. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember exactly, but it was just a Goodwill. And I've seen some people sell Keen shoes for a while. I'm not sure on the styles that do well, but I think some do. And in this case, this one sold just over a month for $50. And with that net profit, I think that's pretty great. So I would do this one again for sure. This is a Gorewear R3 Active hooded jacket. This one, the material just felt good and it looked like good quality, and so I didn't really look it up until I went home. And this brand actually retails for quite a bit. So I actually listed this a lot higher, not knowing how it would do reselling, because I think I saw some that sold And they weren't super high, so I expected that it wouldn't sell for as high as I had listed it. Uh, but I got this one at the bin, so it didn't cost very much money at all to get. So this one sold on March 29 for $36. My order earnings was $28.80. My cost of goods was $2, so probably rounded that up as well. And so my net profit was $26.80. So I think this is pretty good. I don't know that it's a very well-known brand. I didn't see a lot on the market. And so maybe potentially something to be on the lookout for. Because yeah, I think it sold within like a month or two and pretty decent profit, especially from the bins, or as much money as I had into it. Maybe at a regular thrift store, maybe not so much, but anyway, yeah, cycling jacket or cycling brand. Okay, this is a Out From Under balloon joggers. So this one I got because one, that it was joggers, and two, because the balloon pants are trending, or at least were trending. And then Out From Under, I believe, is like a Urban Outfitters brand. I'm not entirely sure, but this one I did get from Whatnot. And so this one, when I go on to Whatnot and people are doing their show, I'll have like another screen pulled up on my computer and I'll like try and quickly like Google either the brand or the style or something like that to see if that's something that can be worth a lot. And because you have to make a decision really quickly, because basically it gives you only a few seconds to bid on it. And so this is just one that I decided to try on. I wasn't confident in it at all because this was when I was starting to get used to Whatnot. So, but I think, I mean, so it sold actually only for $15. I think that must have been an offer. My order earnings was $10.64. My cost of goods was $7. So I think if you got this cheaper, maybe that would have been better because my net profit was only $3.64. But yeah, definitely, definitely have to learn Whatnot when you're sourcing it. I think that it could have been a good buy if I knew what I was doing, but I think I paid way too much for this one. These were pretty good. These sold on March 31st for $35. Um, Order earnings was $28.43. Cost of goods was $11, and my net profit was $17.43. I sold one other of shoes of this brand. It was, I think this one's a men's, and the other one was a women's. The other women's one sold very quickly, not for a whole lot of money, but very quickly. And so I think I profited about $20 on that one very quickly. I wonder, I think it may have been in my January what sold video. Um, but these also sold what, like 2 months or so. And so I think not bad of a brand. They don't, I think they sell more for than what they can resell at. Cause yeah, I think I got an offer for 35 that I accepted this. I expected this one to do better. I think I got these on the same day that I got the Reebok Nano camo shoes that I did in another What Sold video. And I expected this one would sell quicker than that one, but that one sold so quickly and for so much more. So that was a way better buy than this one. But in any case, this brand might be something to look out for. Maybe not like bolos, but like maybe like bread and butter. Um, yeah. Uniqlo Skort. So I bought this in Hawaii from Uniqlo. I think this is, yeah, I mentioned this in the February one. I sold the navy blue one and I did pretty well. This one, I actually, it sat a little bit longer, still less than 2 months, but the same person offered $20 like very early on, and then they just offered it again later. And since I hadn't had any traction, I just decided to accept it. And I think it was someone from like out of country, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, very quickly that person offered a lower amount, and I just didn't accept it just because I had $10 into it. So I wanted to see if I could get more. So this one sold for $20. My order earnings was $16.62. My cost of goods was $10, but you can see retails for more, which is the same as the navy blue one from February. Um, And so my net profit was $6.62. So not a whole lot. So it just depends about your business model if you want to try and do something like this. I think it moved pretty relatively quickly, both of them. Just this one not for a whole lot of money. So, but if you're doing volume, maybe that's something you want to try out. This is just some shorts that I got actually, I think from Poshmark, maybe last summer, and they were just super bright for me, so I decided to list it. This one sold on March 31st for $7.12. Order earnings was $7.40. I wonder if I did that right. Maybe I accidentally charged more for shipping, and that's how that worked. I'll double check that before I actually post this, but in any case, that would be my net profit just because I bought it for myself. Um, they, I've bought a few of these. They all sell for very little money, but they do sell eventually. This was kind of an exciting sale actually. So this was the last sale of March for me. This was a Patagonia um, kid's sun jacket. This one I found at the bins in Hawaii. This was the first and only time that I went to the bins in Hawaii. My friend that got me into reselling, she thinks the bins is the jam. So I asked to go with her next time, and I went back to Hawaii, and so we ended up going to the bins, and I found this one. I know kids like puffer jackets can do really well in the winter. I wasn't so sure about the sun jacket, but I'm very happy with how it sold, and the customer was also happy because um, I believe she even messaged me and then gave me a 5-star review. But this one sold for $36. My order earnings is $28.80. My cost of goods, I rounded up to $1, probably paid less because this was very light. And so my net profit was $27.80, which I think was fantastic for just going to the bins in Hawaii. That was, this is probably one of my more fun finds, I believe. Um, but in any case, yeah, so with all of that, my total profit for the month was $296.57. So as I mentioned in my other one, I was gone for part of March and part of February for a wedding. So this wasn't a full month. But I think at the way my trend is going from the time I started these videos to now, I'm averaging like $200 to $300 net profit. I think I had one month, which was January, that was 300 to 400 maybe, or maybe a little over 400. But that also, I sold a very expensive dress that month, so that may be what put me over that month. But right now, I'm probably averaging around 200 to 300. I'm hoping to get more. I thought I made more this month, so I was kind of surprised that I didn't at least get over $300, but that's okay. And I'm hoping starting partway through April and then fully through May, I'm gonna try and track what days I list because I know listing frequency and amount can help with sales. So I want to see on like during the times where I am able to list a lot more, how that affects my sales versus during the times that I'm not able to list a lot more. So I was listing relatively consistently at certain points throughout the month, but then of course, if you go on vacation, there's ways to list on eBay, not so much on Poshmark, but there's ways to work around that. I didn't do that personally. But yeah, so you can sometimes I've seen people like kind of track to see activity when they post and how that affects their sales. So I'm gonna try and like put a calendar up on my April what sold videos so you guys can see like how much I'm posting to see how I'm getting this result and how much also how much I source. I actually haven't sourced since I got back from Hawaii, which would have been late February, early March. And so this is everything that I'm posting now is either things that I actually got a a bunch of clothes from my auntie that I'm working on reposting, and other things that are just kind of in my death pile. I'm trying to catch everything up and put all my inventory away before I source more so that I clean up my mess. But yes, I will keep you guys posted. And sorry, I kind of rambled a lot towards the end of this video. But anyway, if you got this far, thanks for listening, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.